Hello, thanks for checking out my video. Welcome to my channel, me and my jackets. My name is Chris. Today we're doing a video on Arc'teryx jackets and how well they perform in the rain. All right, last week I did a video about the wind resistance and how well they hold up and block the wind. So today we're doing a video on how well they resist water and block rain, okay, and keep you dry. So we did a series of videos that I'm going to show you here outside in the rain. We had a really nice heavy steady downpour rain one day, and I'm out there with my jackets. We did a test on a Zeta SL, which is a hard shell. It's a little older model, but it's the same as, a beta or an alpha, that's available today, or, any kind of Sabre or Rush jacket, any kind of Gore-Tex hard shell will perform the same way. We did the Zeta SL. I then went to a Gamma SL. We had that outside for a while, a Gamma LT for a little bit. We then went to a Atom SL. I picked the Atom SL over the Atom LT basically because it's a thinner insulation layer in the jacket. Actually, there's no insulation really in the arms, it's just a lining, and there's no insulation in the hood. So I figured, the outer face fabric was the same as the LT, so let's see how fast it would soak through this, and I would probably feel the water quicker in the SL than I would in the LT with heavier insulation. Okay, so we did that, and then we went on to a Sawyer jacket. The Sawyer is a Gore-Tex Infinium shell, so we wanted to see how that did. So I'm gonna show you all these videos, little clips, when I went outside. I basically had each jacket outside for at least 20 to 30 minutes. After I took the first couple jackets off, I actually hung them up on a chair outside on my deck to let them continue to sit out in the rain while I did a video on the next jacket. So I'll kind of sum it all up for you at the end, all right? We'll watch all these little video clips, and then in the end I'll come back and kind of sum up everything and see how we did, all right? All right, let's go to these video clips. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking out this video. Today we are talking about Arc'teryx jackets in the rain. All right, Arc'teryx hard shells. This is a Zeta SL. This is an older model, but any kind of beta, alpha, hard shell will do the same thing. Okay, this is a waterproof jacket. We want to see how long this thing is going to stay waterproof out here. I am also wearing a pair of Gamma MX pants, which also will help to resist some of this water, but certainly not to the extent that this hard shell will. Okay, so these hard shells are not only a Gore-Tex fabric, they have a DWR coating, which is called a durable water resistant coating. Okay, and that helps the water to basically bead up on these things and just run off. So as the rain is coming down, which is coming down pretty heavily here, I'm getting pretty wet. If you can see this jacket, the water is just running right off this jacket. It's doing a great job. How long will this last? Well, we might find out here today. But this is definitely your best choice for staying dry in a heavy rain. Okay, these Gore-Tex, whether it's Gore-Tex Pro, like the betas, the alphas, these things are made to keep you dry. It has a really nice hood here. It has a brim over this hood, so my face is not getting wet at all. Okay, yeah, we're going to get this thing wet. It's doing a great job. We're also going to try to look at some other jackets here as well. Some Gamma soft shells, the Atom series jackets. Let's see how long they last before we really start getting wet. What I kind of would like to show you, I'm going to walk up close to the camera here and get a little closer in. You can see all the water beating up on the front of this jacket, okay? You can really see how it's all kind of just beaded up on here, and when I shake it, right, it all comes right off. Now this jacket is also a couple years old. I don't wear it all that often, so it doesn't get a whole lot of wear and tear that can wear that DWR coating off, but it certainly is going to keep me dry, okay? And that DWR coating can always be reapplied to the jackets by a spray when you wash it, so it can be easily taken care of. So let's let's see how this does, okay? We're going to be back in a little while, and we'll see how we do out here. Okay, so I've had this jacket outside here now for about 10 to 15 minutes. This is a really nice, pretty heavy, solid rain, and I am not getting wet, okay? I mean, this jacket is really doing a great job. The water is really beating up on here, and it's all running right down off of the jacket, down onto my pants, but it is kind of also running off of these Gamma MXs. It hasn't been bad. I don't feel my legs getting wet at all. So yeah, we're doing a really good job. The water does drip off my hat every once in a while, you know, off of the hood. As I look down, the water runs off of it, so I know it's working the way it should. And yeah, I mean, you can see all the water on this jacket. Down the zipper, okay? It's doing a really nice job. If my dog would shut up here, we'd be even in better shape. But he's probably kind of curious as to why I'm outside talking and, you know, in the pouring rain. So you can see all the water in this jacket, okay? I mean, it's really, it's wet, okay? But it's not seeping through at all. It's been doing a really great job. So I want to move on here. I want to try a different jacket, and let's see how we fare. Okay, we're back out here. This is the Gamma SL soft shell, okay? This is definitely not a waterproof hard shell like the Zeta I just had on is. This is more of just a water resistant soft shell, okay? So we're gonna see how this does. I'm gonna hang it out here for a while. This too, right now, the water is just kind of beating up on this jacket. But let's see after 10-15 minutes how this thing is holding up, okay? Again, this is a pretty nice solid rain out here. I mean, I'm getting wet. The water's building up on my hood and everything already, okay? So we're gonna check this out and see how we fare. Okay, so I've been out here about 10 or 15 minutes so far, still with this Gamma SL in this pretty steady, you know, rain. The water is really still beating up and running off of this thing. In fact, a couple of times we've had some gusts of wind come through and the water like blew off of me, which is pretty cool. You know, it's definitely really beating up on here. You can see as I get closer to the jacket, you can see the water on top of the jacket, on the sleeves, and it's really, you know, pretty much running off pretty easily, and I am not getting wet. This has been a really nice surprise here so far. The Zeta SL, my hard shell I was just wearing a minute ago, I actually took it off and I hung it up on top of a chair out here on my patio table. So I'm going to leave it out here in the rain. I'm going to do the same with this piece. I can see the water around the brim here of this right now. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to try on something else, maybe an Atom SL. And you know, it's about the same as an Atom LT, and I'm going to hang this one up on a chair here as well, and we're going to leave it out here for another 10-15 minutes. So again, it's a pretty steady rain out here. It's not a solid downpour. It's not like a crazy thunderstorm downpour, but it is a pretty solid, you know, consistent rain. So we're definitely getting wet. And the Gamma MX pants are doing well too. I see some spots where the water's starting to smear up a little bit on it, but for the most part, everything is running off of the jacket, down onto the pants, and then running off of the pants. Okay, so we're looking good so far. All right, be back soon. Okay, so here we are with an Atom SL. I chose the Atom SL over the Atom LT basically because they have pretty much, I believe, the same face fabric, okay? But the Atom SL has less insulation in it. So, in fact, it has no insulation in the arms and no insulation in the hood. So basically what I want to see is, I'm hoping that I would be able to feel the water, the dampness come through this jacket quicker than I would feel it in the LT simply because it has less insulation, okay? So we're going to go with this one. Right off the bat, right away, I can just tell you on this, and I just got out here with it, the water is beating up great on the outer fabric, but on the areas here where is the fleece kind of backing under the arms and probably down the side of the jacket, I can see the water is just, it's getting wet, okay? I see the rain spots kind of soaking into it rather than beating up as it does on top. Let me just quickly show you if you can see that here on the video. Let's see if this focuses here. Okay, water's beating up here. Here I got little dark red spots. Okay, so let's see what happens. We're going to leave this out here for a little bit. It's still nice steady rain, so let's see how we go. I want to see if I feel any wet, through the hood. I can see water starting to beat up a little bit around the top of the hood as well. So we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I've been out here for about 10 minutes or so with my Atom SL in a pretty steady rain. It's doing really well. Everything is beating up really well on it. I do see some spots on the front of the jacket where it kind of appears that it's not beating up as much. It looks like it might be soaking in a little bit. I certainly don't, feel wet. You can kind of see here on the edge of the sleeve, that the water is all beaded, but there are some spots where the water is kind of turning a darker red and it's kind of smearing out a little bit. So I'm thinking that it's starting to bleed in. Areas here on the side of the sleeve where any water has run off of the lining and it's getting onto the fleece, it is kind of soaking in there. I am not wet, okay? I am not getting wet yet, but I think at this point we're starting to see some of the water soak in. Now I will tell you, let me back up here a bit, I will tell you that on the back of my neck I do feel a cold sensation. So I'm thinking that the water is starting to soak through the hood back here and onto my neck. I don't feel my hair really getting too wet, but I think we're starting to soak through this little thin nylon shell up here. But all in all, just to kind of give you an idea, it's done a good job for a piece that's water resistant, okay? I mean, we're pretty heavy rain. It's a pretty solid rain out here today. It's doing okay, but it's starting to soak through. I'm starting to feel cold sensation on my arms a bit, okay? So yeah, that's where we are. Okay, I'm going to try another jacket here now. We might go with the Gamma LT, okay? Okay, so I just wanted to show you real quick the inside the hood on the back of this jacket, okay? You can see in here, did soak through. It is getting wet, okay? As I take off the jacket and look on the back, you can't really see. But on the inside here, if you can see this, if the camera focuses, where are we? There we go. You will see this is pretty wet over here, okay, on the inside of the jacket. But overall, I mean, I think it holds up pretty well, but don't expect it to stay dry, for a long period of time. This is a synthetically insulated jacket. Sorry, this is a synthetic insulated jacket, so if the synthetic insulation does get wet, it will still keep you warm. Okay. Okay, the last piece I have out here, this is the Gamma LT soft shell.
This is a really nice, heavier weight soft shell than the Gamma SL I had earlier. And this is basically made out of the same fabric that the Gamma MX pants are made out of as well. Okay, so Gamma MX pants are holding up really well. I don't feel wet at all. They've been out here all this time. Granted, most of the water is running down off of it. But the Gamma LT, we'll see how it does as well. Okay. I've switched things around a little bit. I had the Gamma LT on for a while. That was doing a really good job. I really don't think that the Gamma LT is going to be very much different than my Gamma SL, which is actually still sitting out here on a chair. It's been out here for at least 20 minutes to 30 minutes so far, and it's looking really good. The rain is starting to lighten up a little bit. It's not quite raining as heavily, as steady as it was before, but it still is raining. It still is a light rain, but I wanted to throw on this Sawyer jacket and see how the Gore-Tex Infinium can resist the water. Okay, so we're going to stay out here with this for a little bit. It is still, you know, a steady light rain here. So we'll see what we can do with this and see how it looks. But so far the water is beating up on the top of this jacket. Now this is a Gore-Tex Infinium. It's known to be water resistant, but its big quality is it's a wind stopper. It's a windproof material. It's not as waterproof as it is windproof. So let's just see how this holds up out here for a little while, and we'll let you know. Be right back. Okay, well, we're back here now. It actually stopped raining, so I didn't really get to test the Infinium of the Sawyer jacket very well, but I did go through, you know, everything else. I had all the jackets sitting out here for a while, at least a good half hour. I got to tell you, the hard shell was great. No problems there, nothing leaking through. The soft shell, the Gamma SL, I had the Gamma LT out for a little while, but the soft shell, the Gamma SL did really well. It did kind of get a little damp, but it wasn't wet through the jacket. And the water was still beating up on it really well. What I noticed too, the Gamma SL, as far as also the pants, the Gamma MX pants, when they got wet, the water beat it up really well, but as you rubbed it, it did seem like it would soak into the fabric a little bit in areas that, you know, it was rubbing a little bit, like on my legs and the back of my knees. It seemed that it was soaking in a little bit. However, it never got wet, and once I went back inside, the pants dried out really quickly, and you wouldn't even know they were out in the rain. They were awesome. I mean, it was really nice. Quickly it dried, but they never soaked through at all. The Atom SL did get wet. It didn't soak through, but the material definitely was starting to absorb the water. It was definitely starting to get wet, especially that area back behind my neck. For some reason especially, did soak through more than even the rest of the hood did. But all in all, things went really well. I was out probably a good half hour with all these jackets in a nice steady rain, and really never got wet. All right, so that's my little report. I hope it helped you out. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you back again soon. Take care. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, we had a nice rainy day. Unfortunately, toward the end of my testing here, the rain did really pretty much lighten up, and in fact it actually ended up stopping. So I really didn't get a good chance to try the Sawyer out any further. I will do another video again the next time we have a good heavy soaking rain like this again. I think I will go outside and we'll get a few different jackets and go outside and see how they do. But this was a good start. I chose these specific jackets for a reason, okay? You know, I chose a hard shell, and then, you know, the soft shells. So the Gammas are pretty popular soft shells, so I wanted to use those. Now, I didn't do as much with the Gamma LT, only because the rain was starting to lighten up, and I just didn't want to spend as much time on it. I could see that it was really beating up well. So I kind of figured it would kind of give me the same results as the Gamma SL, and my Gamma MX pants, okay, were doing really well. So I was really happy, surprised, not surprised, but happy to see that they really did a great job. The Atom SL was the one that soaked through the most and got the wettest. Now, I didn't feel it through the body of the coat, through the insulation. I didn't feel it getting wet that way, but definitely my back of my hood, okay, around the neck back here, really got wet. And I was kind of puzzled why, you know, it wasn't getting wet on the top of my head so much, like I wasn't feeling it in my hair, and, you know, but just the back of my neck got really, you know, wet. I can feel the cold, okay? Basically, what I found when I took the jacket off, actually, I turned around in the mirror and I can see that in the back of the neck where the hood kind of cinches up. You know, when you pull the little pull string tight to tighten the hood up, it was all kind of ruffled back here. And I think a lot of the water just rolled off the back of the hood and kind of settled it down in that area where it was kind of scrunched up a little bit. So I think that's why it soaked in there quicker. Otherwise, just the arms did okay. It was, you know, running off pretty well, but where the fleece met the outer face fabric, it was definitely getting wet on the fleece. But overall, I think what I really learned, what I think would help you out, especially I saw this with the Gammas a lot, okay, and even the Gore-Tex Hardshells, shaking them off every once in a while as the water's beating up and running up on the jacket. You know, if you shake those sleeves and shake the jacket off and all that water comes off, it really helped as far as the amount of water that's actually on the jacket that's actually soaking in. Okay, so I think if you keep a good DWR coating on the jacket and the water is beating up and rolling off the jacket as it's intended to do, as it's supposed to do, and occasionally you shake the jacket off, you know, whether you just, you know, grab your shoulders or your sleeves and just shake, pull the jacket, shake that water off, it really comes off and you're like dry again, okay? So I think, you know, keeping up with that while you're out in the pouring rain is really going to help you rather than just letting all the water sit on you. But I gotta say, I was out there for, you know, at least 20-30 minutes with each one of these jackets, especially, you know, the Zeta, the Gammas, and the Atom SL, sorry. And, you know, they did a really good job. Again, you know, keeping up with that DWR coating is really, really gonna help. But they did great. Now, unfortunately, you know, by the time I had that Sawyer on, it was really lightening up, and it was just a light rain, and in fact ended up stopping, you know, after 5-10 minutes that I was out there with it. So I'll have to definitely go over that one again. My first impression, however, of the Sawyer jacket and the Infinium was that it was not as water resistant so far as the Gammas. It just kind of looked like the water was beating up on it differently, okay? It wasn't so much beads. It looked like it might have been soaking in a little bit, okay? Now my Sawyer is a fairly new jacket. The DWR coating on it should still be fairly new. But we'll have to do more testing. I'm not, telling you that it wasn't good in the rain. It just started to appear that it wasn't quite as repellent as the gammas were. All right, so yeah, so that kind of wraps it up. I hope it helped you out. We did something different here. I got really wet for you guys. So we'll try to do another one of these videos again the next time we have a really heavy downpour, and I'll try more jackets out and some different stuff for you. But this was a good start. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my Instagram and Facebook pages on Me and My Jackets. We're starting to build that up now, and we'll be doing a website, Me and My Jackets, soon as well. All right, thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like Arc'teryx stuff, and hopefully we might even be expanding into some other companies soon. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Take care. Bye.